And what's happening, guys? Where the hell am I? One sec, we sort this out. Camera is on. Boom, there we go. Hi. Lovely. Sorry about that there, little mix up. And of course, I would go and mess it up even more by hitting the bloody wire and knocking it out of the camera. Good on Marty Party. Right, everything's good. What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. It is Monday, start of another week. Hope everybody's doing fine out there. Johnny Boy, nice one there for sharing the stream. Yeah, legend, yeah. Nice one. See loads of comments coming in there as well. No, not now. From Teresa. Missing out what was being said there. Just catching up on some of the comments that are flying in. No, Martin, yeah. I see Teresa's out in the audience. Linda's there. Mark is in the audience. We've John in the audience. Monsieur Fudge, Toda Faust, Linda, Teresa, Patrick Kelly. What's going on? Skatanis, Daily Toker, Miss Stowes. What's going on, everybody out there in the audience? Andrea's in the audience as well, is it? And Peter. What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing mighty fine out there. As I said, it is a start of a brand new week here. And it's something to be excited about at the start of this week as well. Shout out to the guys at ReLeaf Cannabis Cafe, the CBD cafe here in Ireland. Making waves here for the cannabis industry in Ireland up in the High Court today. Sent them out. I sent them out an old message there earlier on, Mark at ReLeaf. Just to see if there was any update there on the case. Haven't heard back from him just yet, have I? Boom. Oh yes, I've heard back from Mark. Yes, lovely. Reading this for the first time with yourselves, and I hope that's okay. It looks like everything's okay in there. Mark says the hearing went well. Our motion to stop DC proceeding gone back to the 24th of January, which Mark was expecting. In fairness, he did say that it would have been early next year that this is going to get dealt with, but there is a kind of a time limit that they have to get it dealt with for him. He says, we have 2 weeks to file a statement to claim, which is the story of our case. That will be done this week. And the DPP have stated that they will not be proceeding to hearing next Tuesday on the 2 Clonmel cases. We need an order for discovery in the second Clonmel case. So interesting. It seems like things have gone as to be expected there with Mark's case. I'm not too sure about the DPP not proceeding on the case, if that was expected, but it seems like that is good news that they're not proceeding on cases. But again, check out the post I put up there on the Martin's World 420 News blog, and it kind of outlines what's going on there within this case. Given the case was basically Mark and ReLeaf, they were raided over 10 times in the last 24 months, let's say. Over €100,000 worth of products were taken from what he believes to be a legitimate business, and he's fighting in the courts to prove it is a legitimate business. But he's had all of those products taken, and if Mark is successful in arguing his case in court, well, then Mark will be able to effectively change the laws in Ireland around cannabis. Because effectively what would happen is the Misuse of Drugs Act would have to be rewritten to allow for the legal possession of the products sold from Mark's store. And that is in line with European legislation then as well. The Free Movement of Goods Act. That's a law within Europe, and the Irish government, the Irish court system, the Irish law around cannabis is currently in breach of that, or it's at least conflicting with it. So very positive times are ahead. Let's hope, fingers crossed, come January there next year, that this will be finished in the courts, and the findings will be as we expect, that Mark's products are legitimate products. The people of Ireland have every right to be able to walk into a store and buy a quality assured CBD, cannabis-derived CBD products. Again, low THC, less than 0.2% THC. And in being successful in that and allowing for the legal purchase of that, then the laws have to be rewritten, and the prohibitionists are going to have a very hard time enforcing the prohibition of cannabis. I'm going to pop up on screen there so you can see this. This is the article that was up there on over on my own Facebook page. Or not my Facebook page, sorry, over on my own website. Jeez, very swanky, my own website. Just have to find a bloody screen display there now. There we go. ReLeaf, excellent. There we go, boom. So up on screen there now we see the blog that's up there, ReLeaf CBD Cafe up in High Court today in a major case for the cannabis industry in Ireland. Here's a picture of Mark and his partner Don, who owned the CBD ReLeaf Cannabis Cafe. And this was actually taken as well while they were out at a sleepout for Focus Ireland. They were raising much needed money there for a homeless charity in Ireland. And that's just a small example of the great things that Mark's company does for the local community and for the Irish society. And we go down then, and outside of the Dungarvan Garda station is the next picture, and it includes a number of customers of Mark's from below there in Dungarvan, as well as some prominent cannabis campaigners from around Ireland who came down that day in Dungarvan on less than a week's notice as well, I might add, in support of Mark after he was held overnight after his home was raided again in another one of these unfair drug raids targeting these CBD businesses. Great show of support there from the local community and from the campaigners from around Ireland too on the day. You see one of the little kids there and all with his sign. There was one of the parents who had attended was telling me on the day as to how she relied on Mark and the products he sells in order to get access to what she regarded as being safe and effective CBD remedies for her young child who suffered with autism. It wasn't a cure or anything for his autism, but she certainly said it helped in many ways, and one of the best ways she said it was just the mood regulation, the kids with autism. I'd imagine if you're a parent out there and you have a kid with autism, I would imagine you'd be quite happy with a non-toxic herbal mood regulator that actually works too. So others then as well, there's a post there from Mark, and included there was the videos from on the day where we marched along the main street. Don't know, will these play? Oh no, I'm in my editor, so they're not going to play. Here's some of the supporters from Mark's, the CBD ReLeaf Cafe on the day down there in, I believe it was called Walton Park, where we marched from. And we marched from Walton Park right up through the main street of Dungarvan to the Garda station in the other side of Dungarvan town. Many people in the town as well stopped and gave us claps, cheers and support as we marched through the town there as well. And down here we have a few more photos there. This photo here on the right with Steph, myself and Mark from right to left, I think, on your screen. Steph with Tidy Buds and myself and Mark from the ReLeaf CBD Cafe. We actually went into the Garda station on the day, and that's up here in one of these videos. I believe it's this one here with my mask on. We went into the Garda station with some CBD products, some cannabis, and we engaged in civil disobedience there in the day. So do check out that video if you haven't already seen it. And then I close off and just explaining, the problem that's going to be created by this. How would you describe it? I suppose this changing of the law. When a cop is going down the road and you've got some CBD flowers, and how's he going to differentiate between your CBD flower and your high THC cannabis flower? And I've attached their little video from the NI Canna guy which is his banana demonstration. Just highlighting how, how stupid the bloody law is, and he used bananas there as a way to kind of explain it. I wonder, can I go to that? No, I can't. So yeah, go check that out. Give it a share as well, guys. And well done to Mark and the CBD ReLeaf Cafe. And best of luck in the upcoming date there next year. But I suppose on this side of the year, hang the hat up, put the legs up, like the fireman, and enjoy. The hard work is done now, it seems. And, it's only time will tell when we get to this case next year as to the path that the cannabis industry is going to take in Ireland. So yeah, that's the case there for ReLeaf. So we just pop that off screen. I'm actually going to pack me up a big bowl of civil disobedience. We don't have any actual. I don't have my bong here today, but I have something better. What's better than a bong, you might ask? A volcano. So I was going to empty out this volcano bowl, and I'm going to empty it into my trusty see-through high and homegrown mug. Yes. Greenbird, are you jealous? I don't know if Greenbird using as one of these yet. So yes, we've got some of the Temple Growers Purple God bud here. Yes, fucking really repping the high and homegrown here. We got Temple Growers buds, we got their mugs. So we got the volcano bowl, guys. This is a volcano bowl if you haven't ever seen one. And this is the only annoying thing about the volcano is the it's a bloody plastic bag. And as plastic bags go, they can be a bit noisy, which isn't great production value for a podcast. But feck it, it's civil disobedience. It's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, I see some lovely comments coming in there as well, guys, in support of ReLeaf. And Teresa O'Connell saying, Mark and Dawn, lovely folk, providing a brilliant service to their local community as well as the rest of Ireland. And yeah, guys, you can go online, I believe, and head to ReLeaf. I think they have an online store as well, if I'm correct. But if not, get down to Clonmel and Dungarvan and pop in and experience it for yourself. I was up there. When was I up there? I was up there last Friday, and beautiful store in Clonmel. My bag has a hole in it. I better suck it down quick before it leaks. Oh no. Oh my lord, that is delicious. Yep, CBD ReLeaf is online. Teresa just confirming there in the comments. Nice one, Teresa. Appreciate that. Steve Jones saying to use the whip. Can you get the whip is something separate, isn't it? Yeah, it's not actually a volcano. It's like a nether device. That's quite good as well. I've seen one of the lads with the whip. But yeah. So tasty. I see Andrea in the audience as well. Andrea saying cannabis cures all. Yeah, Andrea, I definitely think cannabis is a remedy to many, many things as people are suffering out there. And if it's not going to sort out what's, your symptoms, your problems, it's definitely going to cheer you up a little bit anyway, at least. Wrist-haired D asking, wait, how can they rate him because of CBD, but I can go into Boots and buy it? Yeah, you see the big problem there, Restart, is that in Boots and stuff like that, a lot of the products in there are like substandard compared to what would be offered out of ReLeaf. So a lot of the stuff in Boots is actually made with a CBD isolate in order to kind of satisfy the regulators there to ensure them, there's no THC in there or any other cannabinoids. We made sure that by using an isolate. This robs consumers of tremendous benefits. When you combine cannabinoids and flavonoids and terpenes, you get entourage effects, whereby 1+1 = 3. And you kind of, where's this extra one come from? Well, it's hard to explain really, but it's like when you put one compound with a therapeutic benefit with another compound of therapeutic benefit, and you put them together, they kind of increase their benefits, where the 1+1 = 3. You get this extra synergistic effect, as I explain it. Excuse me. And that is effectively why they went after Mark and the other companies out there as well, like Little Collins, because their products are derived from the cannabis plant, and they're full spectrum, meaning they contain the other cannabinoids, CBN, CBG, and including the infamous THC. I'm actually in the middle of writing up an article at the moment around that very kind of thing, around regulations, and I came across a very interesting study, and I'll pop it up on the screen here for you, and I'll give you a sneak peek as you're me faves out there, the people who tune in to watch me live. But this is a study that was done back in 2010, I believe it was. It was published in 2011, if memory serves correct there from reading it earlier. Yeah, 2011 it was published in. So it's 10 years old. It's dated. But it's the only one of its kind that I can really find. This was a study that was done in regards to animal feed. Animals being fed hemp or cannabis-derived feed. Because we've talked about this in the past here on the show. Animals going back to prior to Prohibition would have been fed a diet that included cannabis. Hemp, call it what you will. Cannabis, hemp, it's the same bloody thing. And that feed would have included cannabinoids. These cannabinoids would have been transferred over into the meat and to the fatty tissue of the animals, and excreted also in the milk of those animals. Within this, they actually talk about the transfer of cannabinoids from 2 studies. The studies were done using squirrel monkeys. I've never heard of a squirrel monkey. And dairy cows. And what they found from these studies is that the transfer, so if you were a lactating spider monkey or cow and you consumed cannabis, well, if you consumed cannabis, well, only 0.15% of that cannabis would be actually excreted in the milk. But it's a constant flow. So it's a funny one how they get into it. It's a bit complicated, but it's interesting to know. That's the number that if you've got an animal feed that has like 20% THC or whatever inside of there, for whatever reason it might be 20%, and that animal consumes it, well, 0.15% of that 20% would then be transferred over. And what they found in this study anyway is that if animals were to be fed anything but hemp seeds or hemp seed cake, if they were to use any other part of the plant in the diet of the animals, this would mean that the levels of THC in the milk of that animal would be unsafe, regarded as unsafe to consume. So I suppose it goes back, it reinforces what we were saying, is that if you went back 100 years ago and you went to the local shop and you bought some milk from the local farmer, that would have had cannabinoids in there. That would have had some CBD, it would have had some CBG, CBN, some THC, all of those good things that are good for your body, that stimulate a nice, healthy immune system, help mitigate some of the problems that might be related with a deficient endocannabinoid system. So it's a very interesting study that I found that in 2008, 2010, this study collected over 2,000 samples of cannabis from across the EU. The average THC content of the samples was less than the allowed amount, which was 0.2%. The average was actually 0.075% THC in the cannabis samples collected, but there was 2.6% of the samples that actually went over the allowed limit of 0.2% THC, and that group actually averaged a 0.33% THC. But still, when they crunched all of the numbers, when they used a number of different scenarios in this. One scenario, they used the 0.2% THC limit, and in the other scenario, they actually used the average that was found from the samples, which was 0.075% THC. And regardless of what amount of THC they used for the animal feed, it was still putting it over the 0.2% limit. So if the animals were fed an animal feed of cannabis plants, the of 0.2%, that would put the milk 25 to 90 times the limit that's regarded as safe. And it's funny, I keep an eye out for the article when I drop it. I'll give a further breakdown of it in the article. But it's absolutely criminal what these people went and done. They went for no reason. They talk about inconsistencies there. So we're going to make the limit that we regard as safe 100 times lower because of inconsistencies. It's like, what are you doing? You're just taking these privileges and then going ahead and like putting out all of this misinformation. And that's what it is, misinformation. And it's coming from the European level. This was a study that was done at the request of the European Parliament, I suppose. It was done following a request by the European Commission. The panel on additives and products are substances used in animal feed, and the abbreviation there is FEED-APP. And they were asked to deliver a scientific opinion on the safety of hemp cannabis genus for use in as animal feed. So basically what they're saying is it's not safe. That's what they're saying. They're saying, like, no, don't do that. You can feed them the hemp seed meal, the hemp seed oil, the hemp seeds. And it's great, because that increases the linoleic acid, the essential fatty acids there within the animal meat, the animal eggs and the milk. It's great, you know what I mean? But for God's sake, don't be giving them that plant matter, because never mind the fibre that's going to be great for their gut. It's got cannabinoids in there, and that's going to be bad. And a little spoiler alert, I asked the question, who's it bad for? Is it bad for the consumer? Or is it bad for the pharmaceutical companies who get to sell drugs to that person to treat their endocannabinoid deficiency? Think about it. Like, if there's people out there and CBD is helping mitigate, say, seizures or something, is that person actually maybe short of some cannabinoids that would have naturally been present in their diet? It's crazy. It's crazy to think, that was funded by the European Parliament and our European government, and that's the nonsense that they actually come up with. But it reinforces my belief then again, that there's a hidden agenda there within this, and they can't overlook the harms. So you have to ask, like, well, what is the therapeutic benefits? Because they only ever look at the low observed adverse effects level. So that's like the lowest level of which a substance you can consume before an effect is observed. And for cannabis, that's at like 0.04 milligrams per 0.04 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So that works out for, say, a person who's 100 kgs, as being 4 milligrams. So that's very small, for a big guy. Sorry, where was I going with that there now? I just lost my train of thought. The dose, 0.4 milligrams. Boom. Sorry. They say the drugs don't work. Swap up my bag. Just trying to think what point I was trying to make there. Yes, I know where I was going with that. My brain might have came back. So they only ever want to look at, it's like PJ Coogan the other morning, that's where I wanted to go. He only ever wanted to talk about the harms associated with the cannabis. But again, you have to look at this, like, what about the therapeutic benefits there with these sub-threshold doses of THC being consumed? Do you know, is there? And we have to look also at the tolerance of cannabinoids as well within the human body, that like that dose that's regarded as like the lowest level of observed adverse effect. That's going to be much higher when a population has a tolerance to these. So if this milk was consumed for a year or two, that level, that like it's going to be nothing. Like, we're going to be tolerant to it, and it's just going to be there interacting with our system. It's going to be this sub-threshold dose, but it's going to be therapeutic. It's going to have a beneficial effect, and they don't ever want to look at that. They don't want to ever explore that. Why? As is money. money. But yeah, check that one out, guys, if you want. That is the, I'll just call out the title of it there. But again, I will have a synopsis of that study put up there on my blog later on. But this is it there up on screen. Scientific opinion of the safety of hemp cannabis genus for use as animal feed. Published 2011. EFSA, European Food Safety Authority. Yeah, man. Bunch of bluffers. So, right, the next headline that I have for you today, guys, is coming out of Cork City. Yeah. And it is a buddy of mine, I suppose, a friend from the gym. This is the case where involving Joshua Allen, where Joshua Allen's mother, Rachel Allen, the famous celebrity chef, she was in the media as she's after featuring on an upcoming episode of, I believe it's called Living with Lucy, and that's going to air tonight on Virgin Media 1 at 9 p.m. And this is the first video interview, I suppose, that Rachel has actually given since her son Joshua got caught with the massive amount of cannabis, the 20,000 euros worth of cannabis there last year, which he ordered online via the dark web, had delivered to his property below in Ballymaloe, and it was delivered using a controlled delivery where the guards kind of undercover came down and they raided the property. Josh Allen spent a small bit of time in prison because of it, but given his mother's celebrity status, unfortunately the media just made a spectacle of him. You know, had this been me or you or anybody else, you know, whose parents are insignificant, you're not celebrity chefs, we wouldn't have been dragged through the media like Joshua was. Like everything he did was scrutinized. Like unfortunately he got caught with other drugs afterwards, you know, where he got caught with a bit of cocaine and stuff like that. There was other things, you know. He was obviously as he's a young fella, you know, as a teenager, you're traversing a very awkward point in your life, you know, where you've got all these hormones kicking around inside you. You got all of these different external influences. You got friends who are also dealing with these fucking hormones, and they might try to offer you and guide you down a pathway that you shouldn't go. And you know, and unfortunately for Joshua, he fell, you know, on the wrong side of the law. Like, it wasn't that his drug consumption was causing problems. No, the problems started mainly because he got caught with the drugs, which then might have escalated to further drug use, you know, the even potential drug abuse there. I don't know. But I just think it's a horrible thing that was happening here to Joshua Allen. And it only happened again, you know, given his mother's celebrity status. You know, Josh is probably the most covered amateur mixed martial artist in Ireland, just because of, you know, who he is, his mother, and his drug dealing career. You know, he's had 2 or 3 amateur MMA fights now, and each and every time it's been covered by the media. He's actually, I believe he's since had a bit less of an amateur, I wouldn't say professional fight. I don't think it was professional, but I could be wrong. It might have been professional. But he's like, you know, he's getting unwarranted attention there. Because of his mother, and it's unfair, you know. If the guy has got issues there, surely it's going to be a lot harder to deal with when he's got the fucking media breathing down his neck and kind of highlighting every mistake he makes in the press. It's just criminal. But in fairness, you know, it seems like his mother's after coming out in support of him. Since, you know, she's proud of him with his the achievements he's made in mixed martial arts there in the last couple of months, and also the achievements he's made as a stone carver. You know, it's kind of a funny choice to go as a guy who goes carving stones. You know, I don't know, is he regarded as a stoner now? Sorry, just had to point that one out. You know, but yeah, Josh Allen's after taking up the art of carving stones, and he's made some interesting designs there. I don't know, does he have him up in his Facebook page? I should have had him lined up there to show him to you. But it is a really good work that he's done. He can take a picture, you give him a picture, and he's able to carve it onto a slate. The picture, he's got one up there of like Conor McGregor and stuff. You know what, feck it, I'll go over there to Facebook and I'll see if I can pop it up. I do think he has it up on his Facebook page. Josh Allen? Yeah, boy. Stone carving. Is it up in his photos? No, that's the wrong Josh. Stone carving. There we go. This is some of his stuff. Sorry guys, it was worth it because like look at that. That's incredible art. That's incredible. What a shame to lock this guy up because he wants to sell people some flowers. Like that guy, give him some flowers and give him some cannabis and give him maybe even some psychedelics too, and let's see what kind of other amazing art he can create. Sorry Josh, I don't know if you're into psychedelics or what, like, but I definitely would associate art and psychedelics and drug use, you know. Definitely shout out to the great and wonderful fucking Alex Gray, you know, and his tremendous works of art, certainly inspired there by drugs, but you know what I mean, look at that, incredible, you know what I mean, so like, you know, fucking well done Josh K. I should hopefully see Josh down in the gym later on this evening, and I'm going to ask him, like I've asked him in the past, would him and his mum just like sit down and have a chat about the whole thing. I believe that drug prohibition has been much more of a problem than drugs in Josh's life. If he's got a drug problem, he can go to the doctor, to a health professional to seek help. If he's got caught with drugs, like, and he's getting criminal sanctions against him, they're going to be with him for the rest of his life. A drug problem you can deal with, you get help with it. It might take a month, it might take a couple of months, but do you know what I mean? When it's done, it's dealt with and it's behind you. A criminal conviction, that's like a fucking heavy stone you got to carry with you through life. It's like that stone of shame. John The Simpsons, you know, when Homer gets the rock of shame. I remember he has the rock of shame. Remove the rock of shame and attach the rock of triumph or whatever it was that the attachment's even bigger. But that's what it's like to carry a criminal conviction with you, especially for something so small like cannabis. It's just like, it's so unnecessary. So I'll see if Josh and his mum will sit down and have a chat with me someday on the podcast. Unlikely, but do you know what? Beck it. If you don't ask, never try, you never know. Whew, that's so tasty, that volcano. And we go from Josh Allen to another case here in Cork. And it's kind of similar cases as well, you know. In a case here in Cork where a Cork student, 22 years of age, and he ordered cannabis online and he got caught, unfortunately. This is the 22-year-old student, Harry O'Brien, and Harry was up in court recently for his crime, serious crime now might I add, of ordering in cannabis from California. He was ordering that Cali weed, yes. The Cali Yayo. Or no, Yayo is cocaine, isn't it? Oh, the Cali Peaches. Sorry, Peaches. That's what I was fucking thinking of. Not Yayo. Peaches. Justin Bieber. But Harry O'Brien ordered in €4,000 worth of cannabis online, and again, much like Josh Allen, the Gardaí carried out a controlled delivery, and they caught him. They caught Harry O'Brien in possession of the cannabis. He owned up to it. He was like, yeah, it's mine, but it was for my own personal use. I was going to smoke it and I was going to bake with it and get baked with it, I suppose. But unfortunately, he's not going to do that now, as he got caught with it. This is an old case as well. This is a case that goes back as far as March 13th, 2019. So that's well over 2 years old, like almost 2.5 years old. This case is a long time to be having that thing hanging over your head, you know what I mean? And he's getting on with himself, doing well with himself as well. Harry O'Brien, he's getting on, he's getting a job and all of this kind of stuff. As his solicitor, you know, he pointed out, he's got his life back in track. Because going back to 2019, his life was off track, you know, because he ordered cannabis online. I hate these insinuations that get made in court, you know. He's doing well now. He's off the drugs, you know what I mean? Because he was doing so bad when he was on drugs. In fairness, like, the only thing that he done bad was getting caught with it. If he didn't get caught with this, he probably would have been, you know, happy out, like, you know, baking some decent cakes, doing his college studies. Like, I know college students who had to repeat. I'm thinking of one particular student, and was a buddy of mine, Joseph. Joseph's a Rasta man, and Joseph was in mechanical engineering, and one of the students, and this student got help. He had to repeat the year, and he ended up in Joseph's year then after he repeated. And Joseph took him under his wing, and he guided him away from the alcohol, and he guided towards the healing of the nation, which is the cannabis, Jah Rastafari, is, as Joseph would say, that the herb is the healing of the nation, and the alcohol is the destruction. And he gave my buddy some herbal healing, and he got him off of this demon juice that was bringing him out every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and crippling him then for the rest of the week, going out then and drinking, and he wasn't getting his college stuff done. But when he went to the cannabis, Joseph and the lads, they would sit down in this guy's apartment, and they would have study sessions, and they would smoke the herb, and they'd have good times. They'd listen to good music, and they'd get the work done. They'd get it done. They'd have it in on time. He wasn't even missing deadlines. In fact, this young man's dad, and this is a country lad too, this young man's dad apparently came up to Joseph and thanked him. He goes, I can see a much better improvement than my son, and whatever you're doing, it's working, so keep it up. Like, incredible turnaround. And that's what cannabis can do for students, as opposed to alcohol. And not to say, some students can use alcohol sensibly, but others not so much so. But cannabis, it's kind of hard, well, yeah, definitely. I won't say it's hard to abuse it and stuff like that. Like, anybody can sit down and smoke cannabis and binge, and Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy and all of those other decent TV shows, and let your work, build up and deadlines pass and all of that stuff. Anybody can do that. Cannabis won't make you do that. It won't make you do that. Hangovers and stuff possibly will make it hard to do that. Like, I was sensible. I've definitely consumed cannabis throughout my 4 years of college, and never interfered with me. I was always sensible. I wouldn't smoke too much before I sit down and get study. But I would always just have a little hit, but not too much. I was sensible. So Harry O'Brien, anyway, he was up in court, and this case was put back until November 25th, when the judge was considering adjourning the matter under provisions of Section 100. And Section 100, guys, you might remember from, I believe that was used in the case of Tony Keogh. This is the second time now I've seen this being used, and I've not seen it really before, but this is what was used for Tony Keogh. He was given an opportunity, to kind of do right and not come before the law again, and it'd be dismissed, thrown out effectively, no criminal sanction handed. So that's what's been looked at here for the case of the Cork man who was using the dark web to import cannabis from California. 22-year-old, like, he doesn't deserve to have his whole life fucking jeopardized. He was 19 when he got caught with it, like. How foolish were all you when you were 19? Like, I was still a bit of a silly sausage, like. So you shouldn't have your whole future jeopardized, like. Certainly shouldn't have it jeopardized for a little bit of cannabis anyway, that's for sure. In other news, and I see lots of comments coming in there, guys. Nice one for all your comments. Rain and Rocks, after joining, kicked Mike Volcano off the list. Nice. I've seen Bradley Moore as well, but oh no, the Gardaí see him as a dangerous drug dealer. Yeah, that's effectively what the Gardaí were trying to portray him as in the court. Luckily, they weren't successful in this, and because the guy has got a clean history there, I suppose. He's not been to the guards' attention before. He was successful in it. But for if it was me, if I got caught with $4,000, they're going to be like, no, you're a drug dealer. You got caught for possession before. You're a drug dealer. It's like you can't get caught for possession and have €4,000 worth. It's like, you can only do that if you've not been caught for possession. Andrea says, exactly, Martin, just enough to help concentrate. There you go, Andrea, exactly. Just to steady the mind, help to bring you into the present. Daily Talker says, looks very interesting, not sure how it does its thing, but nevertheless interesting. Vaporize, you're on about it, I'd imagine. Hot air blows across the herbal material, causing a volatilization of the herbal compounds. THC volatilizes at, I believe, 190 degrees Celsius, and which the volcano can easily heat it up to. Therefore, avoiding combustion, where you produce carcinogenic compounds, and alleviating some of the irritants that could cause some problems to your lungs. Sorry, it's a slight plug there for the volcano. My affiliate link should come any day now, hopefully. Hold off on buying one till then. I see the Kyle Rittenhouse looks like he's going to get away with murder in the States. I can see riots in the States if he gets away with it. Yeah, I came across that guy's case, alright. He shot some Black Lives Matter protesters or something stuff. Mad stuff. I haven't read into it to be very honest, GB, but I did see the headlines, alright, and some of the brief articles underneath it. But yeah, crazy stuff, man. Mad if he gets off with it. Daily Talker, does the THC condense inside a bag if it's left for too long? I always wondered that. Yeah, it certainly does. As I don't know if you can see on this bag, but like this bag is kind of orange yellow. It's definitely got some condensate on the inside of it. This bag is the original bag that came with my Volcano, so this bag is easily 7 years old. I think 6 or 7 years old, easy. And it's still going strong, in fairness. That other bag had a bit of a hole in it, so she's going to get dunked in a load of milk later on, and we'll suck the goodness out of that. But yeah, it definitely does. Over time it gets coated with some of the volatiles inside of there, you know. I made a newer bag. I don't know where that one is. It's over there somewhere. That one's a bit clearer. I could have showed you the difference, but yeah. Other headlines out there, guys, you know, outside of the Gardaí intercepting people's personal supply in the post, the Gardaí have uncovered €159,000 worth of cannabis and ecstasy that was concealed in the mail. So this is an article that was over on the journal.ie, and they've also included an old picture there of the drugs. So you see the cannabis here pictured alongside of the ecstasy. Can I make that full screen? No, I can't make that full screen. Oh well. Over €159,000 worth of cannabis and ecstasy tablets have been seized at 2 premises in Dublin. The drugs were seized when revenue officers examined parcels at 2 premises in Dublin as part of a routine operations. They were assisted by the drug detector dog Bailey when they uncovered the 7.8 kilos of herbal cannabis and 252 ecstasy tablets with a combined estimated value of more than €159,700. The drugs were concealed in parcels labelled as various types of herbal tea that originated from the US, Canada, Spain and the Netherlands. So they're coming from a number of directions there, so and all getting kind of intercepted at that one operation. So the cops are getting lucky. I'm reminded of that old saying there from the IRA. Do you know that they only need to get lucky once, where she needs to be the Teresa, was it Teresa fucking, what was it? No, what was your one's name? Shit. Oh, bitch, Margaret Thatcher. The warning to Margaret Thatcher. That was right. The IRA said to her, you have to be lucky all the time. You have to only be lucky once. That's kind of what's going on here in the mail, you know what I mean? Like, the boys, they have to be only lucky once in order to get through a massive concealment of drugs, you know, and the prohibitionists, the authorities, have to be lucky all the time in order to kind of be effective in what they want to do, which is stop the supply of drugs. But they know that the authorities have admitted that's an impossible task, but they continue to try anyway, which is insanity in its own right. But yeah, just a hopeless case here, this prohibition. The fact that the parcels are coming from all different directions as well just goes to show the amount of people involved in this, just sending drugs to Ireland. And this is just one day in the parcel sorting office, you know. How many days is this office not equipped with drug detector dog Bailey, and therefore all of these packages are going by, you know? Drug detector dog Bailey is not cheap. He comes at a cost, and the Irish, they can't afford to do that, you know. The best they can do is a couple of dogs a year and a couple of officers handling those dogs, you know, and at best, you know, preventing maybe 1 to 10% of the drugs reaching the market. Pitiful, really, isn't it? But you know, the boys will pat themselves in the back. Don't worry, like, they're going to pat themselves in the back. This will be accumulated now with all of the other drugs, and this is going to be brought before, you know, some hearing committee there above in the Dáil, and they're going to say, look how great we're doing. Look at prohibition, it's working. Look at all the drugs we're stopping. Look at all the drugs we stopped this year. We've got more drugs this year than we did last year. Isn't it great? Is it? Is it great? No, it's not. It's not. You're just highlighting the failure of prohibition, because even with the increasing amount of drugs, it's still about a fraction of the amount of drugs that are out there. And for every parcel of drugs that gets by, that's a person at risk of consuming an unregulated product, and that's a failure of the state to protect that person. That's a violation of that person's human bloody rights. We all have a right to life, to liberty, and to feel safe. When you have to buy cannabis on the dark web, like, not only are you at danger from an adulterated product, but you're in danger of your home getting kicked in, of your future, like that student, Harry O'Brien. Do you know? Your future, whole future jeopardised. Nobody should at that risk over cannabis, where's the risks with cannabis? Come on, like, most of the studies that come out to highlight the harm are a bunch of bloody propagandist bullshit, really, like, when you look at it. Clutching at straws is what they're doing. But yeah, that's more sad cases out of Ireland, and it doesn't stop there, as the authorities also intercepted over, was it €300,000 worth of cannabis. Sorry, now I'm going to pop this next article up on screen there for you. Yeah, it was €360,000 worth of cannabis was intercepted in the post. Again, do you know, but despite all of these raids, like, cannabis is still out there. You know what I mean? You can still go online and just order in your own little 50 bag, like, to come in from Spain, to come in from the Netherlands. There's still people over there willing to kind of send it to you, because there's money to be made. But, you know, despite this anyway, the authorities went out and they arrested a man in his 20s. Again, another young man, another young life, another young man full of potential, who could have been doing good in society. But he's going to be brought before the courts for his crime of having in his possession €360,000 worth of cannabis. And that was following the search of a residence above in Tala area yesterday evening. And that was at about 20 to 7. The Gardaí searched the residence in the Killarden Heights, Tala. During the search, they discovered a suspected cannabis herb. And again, suspected, meaning that, yes, you, the taxpayer, is now going to solve the mystery of whether this cannabis is actually cannabis. And us as consumers are not going to benefit from any harm reduction information that could be generated from that, you know, such as the strength, the potency of that cannabis, or any potential adulterants, or maybe even microbial, bacterial contaminations there that could pose a risk to the consumer if consumed, you know. So yeah, that's Ireland for you. Just carrying on, being backwards as always. Well done, great stuff, Ireland. I see GB getting in on a super chat there as well. Legend GB. GB is a bit disappointed with the audience out there on YouTube, guys. Come on, there's 40 of you watching and only 20 of you after liking. He says, smash that like button, people. Don't just press it, smash it, but just go easy on the phone. You know what I mean? Imaginatively smash it. You know, press it gently. Don't break your phone. I don't want anybody to be, hey Martin, I broke my phone because you told me smash that button. But yes, hit that like button, guys. Nice one, GB. Legend. Thanks for the support as always. And guys, before I go any further, I'd like to bring to your attention just a little raffle I'm going to do. I have to go down later on this evening after the show, and I'm going to be collecting my dog Chase from the vets. And Chase ended up in the vets after... he's suffering with his nose. There was a kind of an issue going on there with his nose, and he's had to get a CT scan. So because of that, I'm going to do a raffle. I was given 3 lovely prizes. Yes, these are 3 mystery brown envelopes, guys. Mystery envelopes. Much like the mystery that the Forensic Science Ireland draw was trying to solve. What is in that envelope? But yes, 3 mystery brown envelopes, each worth €100, guys. Woo! And to be in with a chance of winning one of these envelopes, all you've got to do is make a small donation of 10 yo-yos. There's going to be 70, yes, only 70 possible entrants for this. So I'm going to pop it up on screen here now for you. Boom, there it is. I might make this a little bit bigger if I can. There we go. But yeah, basically what we're going to do here is if people want to message me first to secure a number, You can message me via my email, or you can social media as well. Or I have also included, which is going to be up there on my website quite shortly, a link to a Telegram chat room. It's a public open chat room, and there you can also message me. So that'll be up online very shortly, guys. I'll be publishing this up on the martinsworld.ie website very shortly. You can send payment then, guys. Once you secured your number, message me with your number. Wait for me to confirm your number, that you've got it secured. And then you can send payment via PayPal, Revolut, or if you're in Cork, you can arrange to come and give it to me in cash if you would like also. Again, this is to cover Chase's vet bills, an unexpected vet bill. I'm lucky I've got savings there, I suppose, for Christmas, but it would be great to be able to replace them without having to lean on family and for a loan. So I just thought, well, not that I thought, it was suggested to me by a friend. He was like, here's 3 envelopes, there's 300 quid, you should raffle them off, and people might be willing to throw 10 quid there for a number, and be in with a chance to win one of these 3 amazing prizes. There's no limit to entries as well, guys. If you'd like to buy 3 tickets, then you could potentially win all 3. And each prize, guys, comes with one of these, not one of them ones. It comes with a raw king size connoisseur pack of rolling papers. So each one comes with 2 packs of raw king size connoisseur rolling papers. So a great prize. And if you're all like worried, if you don't want, if you're not willing to take the risk of what's in the mystery prize, I can give you a cash value of it as well. As I'm sure there is somebody out there who'd exchange the for that mystery envelope, the 100 quid as well. So yeah, guys, if you'd like to, you can pop me messages there. I see a few people already. Shitty walk. Think I'm going to start watching you on YouTube rather than Facebook. Adrian here. Nice one, Adrian. Shitty walk. Love the name, dude. Love the name. Adrian, absolute legend there. Nice one for that. But guys, if you would like to sort out, or if you would like to take part in this raffle, again, as I said, email, Facebook message, Instagram message, Twitter message. Secure your number first before sending any funds. PayPal, Revolut, there are 2 options there as a place to send the payment, but don't send any payment until you confirm your number. So guys, it's just one way in which it was suggested to me as a good way to come out, and I thought this is a fun way to do it, to kind of to interact with yourselves as well as have a bit of competition. And it's also left with me then, if this works out, as a potential way of funding the fight for cannabis legalization here in Ireland. Not just with mystery envelopes, but there's great businesses out there who would put forward some great prizes, and we could bring the price of the ticket down as well. This one is for a specific cause, for a specific need, so there's a specific target in mind, so hence the price and the number of tickets there. But going forward, I definitely think this is a good way for us to generate some vital funds for the fight for cannabis legalization here in Ireland. As next year we've got some big plans. The Cannabis Activist Alliance, we've been talking there, and we're looking at the calendar, and we're marking out dates, guys, and the cannabis movement in Ireland is in for a treat next year. We're going to hit the road, we're going to hit the floor running next year. And this year's not over yet, guys. Don't forget, this year's not over yet. We're also talking about a campaign being run on the 1st of December. So keep that one in mind as well. On the 1st of December is going to be the next big protest for cannabis reform in Ireland. And just for a bit of an idea as to what might be coming, Rosa Parks in 1955, guys, on December 1st, refused to give up her seat on the bus. Rosa Parks engaged in a campaign of civil disobedience, which sparked the change that was needed for the civil rights movement in the US at the time. And I believe, ours, not just mine, this is not mine, this is ours. Our civil disobedience campaign is going to really, really be the thing that's going to turn the tide for cannabis reform in Ireland, as well as, you know, Mark's case as well, the ReLeaf case and Little Collins. These are going to be big as well, but nothing like the civil disobedience campaigns that we're going to embark upon, or continue to embark upon here in Ireland. But December 1st, guys, is going to be the next big one, and it's going to be in solidarity or in remembrance of the movement there, or the action of Rosa Parks. How many years was that prior? 46 years prior to that, you know? So, there you go. Get some Ishka. Nice. I see a few people liking the raffle idea there as well. Much appreciated, guys, for everybody who takes part in that and helps support a very worthwhile cause there. Again, as I said, run up to Christmas, it was a very unexpected bill. I had these prizes gifted to me, suggested to do a raffle, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Hopefully this goes ahead. Hopefully we'll be able to fill all of these spots there before the end of the week. And once all of the numbers are given out as well, guys, this draw will be done live. It'll be done live on Martin's World, right here. And we're going to use a random number generator. So once all numbers 1 to 70 have been paid for, we'll go ahead with the draw live on air here, and the winners will be drawn out. Guys, you don't have to have your real name attached to any number. Once you just message me, you can keep it anonymous. We can put down a pseudonym, you know, if you'd like to be Green Tea, you know what I mean? You know, like the kind of hidden names, Daily Toker. We'll put that name down beside there as well, so you don't be identified in the raffle. No, some people want to remain anonymous. But just, you know, remind you, PayPal, Revolut, €10 per number, enter 3 times for a chance to win all 3 prizes. 3 mystery envelopes worth €100, guys, and each envelope coming with 2 packs of raw king-size connoisseur rolling papers. Those come with the tips. Great tips, great papers too, really like them. What's kombucha? Kombucha equals bro science. What's going on about kombucha? You won't find anything on kombucha and bud discovered by me by accident. What's going on here? Chum Manfu. What's going on, Chum Manfu? Homebrewed kombucha. I'm just looking back. I'm curious now as to what's going on there. Yeah, soaking the soil with kombucha doubles the bud yield. I've seen that actually. I've seen reports of that anyway, at least. I've not seen it firsthand. Where people have trolled old kombucha scobies, the bacterial disc that forms on top of the kombucha fermentation, the brew. And yeah, they're said to be probiotic benefits there, because the kombucha SCOBY, it's got like all of these beneficial bacteria inside it, or at least seen beneficial from the perspective of consuming the kombucha anyway, at least. But when thrown or mixed in with your soil, then some gardeners are actually saying that the increased microbial activity is doing fucking wonders for the plants, you know. And as Chum Manfu is saying there, are claiming doubling the bud yield. Quite a bold claim to be making, you know, doubling it, yeah, in fairness, like, but you know, he said it, not me. I'm just reading what the man said. But there's a bit of science there behind that. Increasing the microbial activity of soil is certainly going to stimulate the plant, whether it be beneficially or negatively. But in the case of kombucha, anyway, at least with the online reports, more studies needed. That has been seen to be largely beneficial, and very beneficial when it comes to increased yield as well. So nice one for that there, Chum Manfu. A little unexpected grow knowledge coming at you. Normally leave the grown stuff for the boys that are high and homegrown. We do a bit from time to time here too. Put on me old herbal science hat. Oh yes. I'll pack up another one of those bags. Almost 4:20, guys. Pack them if you got them. 4:20. Where is it? Almost 4:20. It's 4:20 in 30 seconds in the Azores Islands and Cape Verde. Oh, so Cape Verde is after catching up with the Azores Islands. Normally Cape Verde was at 6:20, but global warming, or not global warming, jeez. Daylight savings time. Global warming. What a stunner. So counting down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hooray! Hooray! It's 4:20 in the Azores and Cape Verde. Daily Talker saying, finally home and packing a bowl. Nice, Daily Talker. I hope that was a nice bowl you packed. Others out there, Rain and Rocks says, Daily Talker, enjoy the bowl, and I have 3 different types. After 5 years of messing with vapes, I now need no more. Flavour, hit, vapor. Peace, man. Nice. And Daily Talker is asking, where did you buy yours and where did it ship from? And still no reply there. Get back to Daily Talker there, Rain and Rocks, if you're still out there, buddy. What's Rain and Rocks got? Has he got the whip? Is that you there while you go on about the whip, Rain and Rocks? Can't remember now. Yes, Cassida Stragas says it's dab o'clock. I'll do one of those ones because I ain't got proper dabs. Yes, Sandra as well saying, enjoy everyone. Cheers, Andra. Well, we have a little dip. We touched bowls. Cheers. Schleinte. And Rain and Rocks replying there to Daily Talker saying that he bought it directly from their site and they are handmade in Portugal. Says check out YouTube and delivered after QC from Germany. And Cassidus Drogas getting in on a super chat there as well. Nice one, Cassidus Drogas, legend. Much appreciated for the support of the show, buddy. No message attached, but support well received. Art of Vapor, nice one for that, Rain and Rock. So check out Art of Vapor on YouTube, guys. As said there by Rain and Rocks. Might just pop him up as he Vapor. Art of Vapor, GmbH. Oh, maybe there's no U. I'm just looking at Art of Vapor there now up on YouTube. Rain and Rocks. Which one are we looking at? We were looking at these kind of things. Vapor, Vape Bong by Vape, Art of Vapor. Oh, this looks really cool in fairness, like. Which ones will I click into? Oh, Sneaky Pete's or the other guys? Sneaky Pete's. Go on, Sneaky Pete.
You guys right away. Let's start at the top, and the first question is, what exactly am I looking at?
Yeah, what are we looking at?
I really don't know what to make of this thing the first time that they see it.
It looks weird.
The Vape Bong is a handmade ceramic vaporizer that comes from
Whoa.
Germany. And like the name suggests, it's a combination of vaporizer and a bong. The company that makes the Vape Bong is called Art of Vapor, and these are all made by a small team of artisans, and they come in a massive amount of different looks.
Whoa, it's pricey.
Get something that was really different than the typical
Art of Vapor, send us on one there and we try it out for you. We'll do a review live on air. Send me on that guy, the Ghostbuster one. I want them all. Send them all on to me, please.
Aspect of it, and let's just get it out of the way very early on. Yes, it definitely is a little bit phallic. When we look at the device here, you see a shotgun hole. And this is a shotgun or a carb hole like you see on many different devices. In North America, we are not used to seeing these on water pieces, but from what I've been told, this is something
he said it looks pretty phallic
in different places around the world.
Yes, it does.
So if you want to use like a carb, it's just going to be like normal. Take your finger on and off. But if you just
want
to use
a bong, but how do you use this bong?
Into the vaporizer, this is not removable here. I don't
know
how
she's electric. She plugs in.
Everything I've read though, it says since this is made from 7.4, just turn it up after it's completely warmed up. So after you turn it on,
that's really cool. Nice one for this Rain and Rocks.
Just a little bit tricky to fill as you can't see into it.
Your bowl gets put in there.
I recommend using between 300 and 500 milliliters of water. So just get a measuring cup with that much in there.
This is really cool. Nice one for this Rain and Rocks.
See how you like that. And if you want a little bit more, just pour the remaining water in there. When you buy the vape bong, you get the vaporizer itself. You get this ball here. This will give you your second ball on the device. And this is where you load your flower. Then you also get this little dish.
This is really
this
cool.
Little handmade ceramic dish, like this handmade ceramic
I seen that
bottle.
Podge.
Well, this acts as your loading.
That's really cool. All right,
so
Seth Rogen's one.
Put your flower in here. Then line
Not
that
good,
up
not
with
as good
the
as this
hole
though.
on the ball, and then
It's pretty cool
simply
though.
turn it up, and that's going to pour your flower directly in there.
Oh,
With
nice.
a lot of grinders, you can just get it in there directly from your grinder.
Could you
I
not
think this
just
is just a really cool
it
handmade
in?
touch. It works
this-
well.
yeah,
It makes
yeah.
it very easy to load your flower. Just going to show you with some
Be
ground
fancy
flour
just for
in
the
here.
sake of it, you know what I mean?
Line the hole,
Completely
invert
unnecessary.
that, and
You
that's
could just
gonna
literally
sit
just take
directly
a
there. So
grinder,
when you're ready to hit
link
it,
it
put
up
your
and
thumb
put it
on
in.
that shotgun hole and just give it a go.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's really cool. So it's plugged in. So the guy obviously, you can see a wire going into the bottom of it here, and this is obviously creating an atmosphere of hot air inside in the first bowl, and then the second bowl then that's attached to that has your cannabis in it, which are drawing the hot air through, which then causes the vaporization. Really cool. It is. It's cool like that. But like, is it $300 cool? I don't know. Like, Art of Vapor, send me on one, and I'll see if it's $300 cool, and I'll tell all the people about it if it is. Oh look, Martin's World is live. Rain and Rocks, legend. Thanks very much, pal, for pointing that one out to me and to the audience as well. I wasn't aware of such a contraption. It looks really cool though. Fucking stoners, man, really ingenuitive. But yeah, Seth Rogen as always. Check out his Twitter page. He made a really cool handmade rolling tray and grinder as well. It's cool. It's mad. Fair play to him. Go on, you creative stoners. Much like our own very creative stoner here in Ireland. I don't know is he a stoner anymore, but I hope he is kind of. Joshua Allen, you know what I mean? The stone carver, the stoner. Yes, he is a stoner. That's our very own stoner. Ah, yes, came full circle there on that one, didn't we? Sorry, what else do we have lined up for you today in the headlines? Sorry, I must get back to the news. John Gilligan. John Gilligan is the next man popping up on the headlines, as John Gilligan is back in the news, as he could potentially be facing up to 8 years for the crimes which we covered here on 420 News. But maybe a year or so ago it was. It's gone back a bit now anyway. He got caught with... how much did he get caught with again? He got caught with like a couple of €1,000 worth of cannabis, maybe tens of thousands euro worth of cannabis. How much? It was a fair bit of cannabis anyway, and the cannabis was being sent to Ireland as well, which was funny enough as well. At the time of the raid, when they were carrying out the raid, they were actually. There was 4 packages that were after being sent to Ireland. It says here, investigators managed to intercept 4 postal deliveries in Spain in which 4 kilos of cannabis and 15,000 pills had been hidden, and these were destined to Ireland. It says here also, police sources said at the time of the initial arrest in October 2020, so yeah, just over a year ago this was, Gilligan... in Gilligan's villa, the place, as he was preparing a delivery of to Ireland of cannabis and sleeping pills, which are often used by heroin addicts. So for over a year now, he's been on remand. He was been out in bail. He was held on remand for a while, but he was granted bail then after a short time, on strict conditions, you know, that he doesn't leave Spain, and a few other pieces as well. But you know, still nonetheless, he's still out and about, living a free life in certain regards. And he got caught with not only cannabis and pills and cocaine, but he got caught with a loaded gun as well when the cops carried out further examinations of his property. They uncovered what at the time was being described as a rare Colt 45, which was implicated in the murder of Veronica Guerin, but they've since changed that description now to that of, where is the description there now of the gun? A Colt Defender air pistol with its box and ammunition. So that's changed there. So it's not the gun that was believed to be involved in the killing of Veronica Guerin, which they thought he might have kept as a treasure piece, you know, maybe. Who knows? If he was, you know. But yeah, he could face up to 8 years, but he's not going to be back in the courts there until later next year. But yeah, he's going to be getting a year and a half for the drug trafficking charges, another year and a half for the charges of having a gun, And there's another 4 years there as well on his involvement with organised crime, money laundering, stuff like that. Funny, he gets more for money laundering than he was for the drugs and the gun. But yeah, that's the case of John Gilligan anyway. 8 years in prison. But again, it's just like another case of highlighting why we need to end cannabis prohibition, because people like this guy fucking are benefiting off it. Like, if I knew John Gilligan was at the head of a cannabis company, I wouldn't be supporting that cannabis company. I certainly wouldn't. It wouldn't be a tasteful thing to do at all, would it? But we've no knowledge of who we're supporting when we buy cannabis here in Ireland. He was sending cannabis to Ireland. Some of the packages he was sending were significant, multiple kilos being sent. So there's a high chance that you potentially could have consumed some of John Gilligan's cannabis and you wouldn't have even known. You'd be none the wiser. Yes, got that little pun in there. And also, Ronan Divney, much appreciated there, Ronan Divney, getting in the super chat as well. Thanks very much, Ronan, for the support of the show today. Much appreciated, guys. Great support coming through there to the show today. Ronan Divney sent it a pair character doing a classic mic drop. Yes, love it. Other news then, guys, and I'm going to finish on a positive note, a bit of a positive note. Again, perspective. For us here in Ireland, this might not be too positive. It might be a bit upsetting to actually look at it, that elsewhere in the world, in the same bloody planet, people are not being treated like criminals and having their freedoms taken away for cannabis. No, they're actually somewhat sensible over there. This is out of America, where the business-to-business wholesale cannabis platform, LeafLink, they've unveiled the 2021 winners of a number, like a large number of cannabis categories. So it's really cool to see this. So I'll pop up on screen here the what's it called? LeafLink, LeafLink website. This is the unified B2B business cannabis platform. It connects 7,300 cannabis retailers with 2,800 cannabis brands and distributors for streamlined cannabis commerce. So this is really cool. Like, so if you're an up and coming cannabis retailer, like, you go to these guys and they're going to link you with all of the different brands and the different products there that you could stock at your store. Like, it's a one-stop shop for the businesses. Like, great, this is amazing. Fair play to them. Like, they've got like a really cool portfolio of brands, of products. I was kind of checking them out there a while ago, but this is the competition anyway that they ran. So this is this includes all of the people that they work with. So they have brand winners for top selling, fastest growing, best customer service, best brand profiles, best advertising, early adopters, leaders in social responsibility, community favorites. So here we are in Ireland and we can't even pick whether we support John Gilligan or not when we buy our cannabis, you know what I mean? And meanwhile over in America, you know what I mean? You can not only choose what kind of cannabis that you would like, but you could buy from a cannabis company, let's say, that won an award for being leaders in social responsibility. So let's just click into that one, like, leaders for social responsibility. Did I click into that? There we go. So leaders for social responsibility. So these are the leaders for social responsibility. Huga, Biko, Kemia, Lime, and Magic Pipe. So well done to those guys. Well done for being fucking leaders in social equality or equity. Legends. Good stuff, guys. Well done. But not just there's many other categories out there. There's retail winners for the top purchasing, early adopters again, fastest growing, all of these. The one I'm most interested in though is product winners. All of the different products. And the products I'm most interested in are the flowers. Flower power. So let's go into the flowers. So we click on the flowers here and it's going to bring us on down through, and hopefully I've opened this up for you. Yeah, you're seeing all what I'm seeing. Good. Ooh-wee. Oh man, bonbons. I love bonbons. I hate the fact that they're hard and they want to pull the teeth out of your gums and stuff like that. I haven't had a bonbon in such a long bloody time. But man, I could do with some bonbons indica right now. Ooh-wee, look at that. Look at that. Looks freaking gorgeous, man. Oh, I'm just getting excited looking at this stuff. Yes, I'm over 21. Yes, I'm in the United States. Where's those bonbons gone? There's those bonbons. Oh, yes. 7 leaves, 3.5 grams, bonbons. Sign up the shop, log in. Oh man, how much? Take my money. Take all my money. I'm going to be like that 22-year-old Cork student, except I'm going to be just a little bit older. And I'm going to be having loads of the bonbons and all sorts of nice stuff arriving from California sometime soon. Because, man, look at this. Black slush. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the color there as well. Like, oh, yes. Ah. As I said, guys, perspective. Like, so to some of you out there, like me right now, you're like crying inside that we can't avail of this here in Ireland, that we can't go out and, choose like award-winning cannabis flowers, to go down and maybe try some of Mike Tyson's bloody Tyson Ranch. Imagine getting your hands on some of that stuff here, like, dosey dose. Yes, I know somebody in the audience was enjoying that there last week. I don't know, was it Monsieur? Beautiful stuff, guys, We're just not living here in Ireland, like, sadly, we're not. But as I say, guys, I've tried to finish on positive note. That was positive for me, you know what I mean? Over there, elsewhere in the world, there's shit going on and people are like living and not being treated like criminals. And I know still in America, they have a large amount of cannabis prisoners existing there, which is very hypocritical at a time when all that is going on, all of these awards being given out, businesses being sold for millions, billions, and meanwhile, like a dad of fucking 3 kids, selling a bit of cannabis is still serving a fucking life sentence because of some 3-strike rule or some shit like that, So again, perspective, as I say, I would introduce that as being positive news, but there's still that part of me that like sees that perspective, as from the prohibition side of it, from the criminal side of it, like, that it's like, how can we celebrate this stuff at a time when people are still being punished so much for this bloody plant, having their freedoms taken away, their lives taken away? So yeah, so that's it for today's 420 news, guys. And Dahi says it's depressing buying crap off idiots. I've no proper circle of healthy growers to link in with. If anyone can point me in the right direction, it'd be a great help. Dahi, we're going to have to work on something soon. We're going to have to come up with some sort of a growers collective and some way of getting people into it, because like you, man, I'm sick and tired as well of hearing these horror stories of people buying crap from people, getting ripped off with underweight bags, with poor quality cannabis and all of the other problems. I want to bring the price of cannabis down in Ireland again. You know what I mean? I want to make cannabis fucking easily accessible in the right way, not in the wrong way in which prohibition is done. So yes, join me in my campaigns and my escapades as we fight for cannabis legalization here in Ireland. And guys, just a final reminder of the raffle that I'm going to be doing. As I'm just looking at the time there, I'm going to have to go down and collect my buddy Chase there now. And yeah, hopefully they're after solving the problem. Hopefully it's not tumours and stuff like that. Hopefully it's good news. I'm going down to there in a minute. But that raffle is up there. I see a few people have already kind of got in some requests there for numbers. I've seen some messages pop up there as well. As soon as I get back from the vets, guys, I'll respond to your messages. I'll put a secure mark on your numbers. And we'll have some fun with this as well, and hopefully this is something we can do going down the line as well. If you've more ideas out there as well as to how we can kind of run campaigns like this and to generate more funds to again fight for the cannabis legalization here, organize buses to get campaigners to protests and stuff like that, get more organized, get more professional, formalize. That's what's needed here in Ireland. So yes, that's going to be up in line there, guys, by 6 o'clock. So do get in touch. martinsworldpodcast@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all of those places. Drop me a message to secure your number before sending any payment. So yeah, hype. I see a message where again. Just said it there again. Hype. Hopefully you got it. So yeah, guys, it's been a good crack. I enjoyed today's 420 news. Maybe we might have Elijah join us there during next week's or later on in the week again. Hopefully you join us and be wide awake, and he'll talk away with you as well. He's a real bundle of joy. I'm delighted to have him home. But yeah, hopefully you might join me again on another one of the 420 news. Who knows? Yeah, Mark, all the best for Chase, and yes, join Martin's adventures. Love it. And the show's growing as well, guys. It's getting so many new followers as these campaigns get carried out. You know, just more and more people becoming aware of like this fucking this Martin fella and all that he's doing here in Ireland. You know, pushing the envelope, and these other people then are, you know, the Cannabis Activist Alliance now, which is an up and coming name. They're being mentioned in a number of the articles as well. And it's going to be, you know, it's going to be something that might eventually, you know, replace Martin's World, and they'll be at the forefront. It'll be the Cannabis Activist Alliance, which I will be a part of, and very much active part of too, you know. But I try to get my name to be less of a thing and be more of a group thing, you know, about all of you out there once everybody's up ready to get out there, which many of you have been so bold and brave coming out in civil disobedience and protesting publicly. So well done to all of you guys, and continue that. Nice one. But right, I will be back, guys, on Wednesday with more 420 news. Until then, guys, stay blazed and keep her lit, because I'm going to have to run and pick up Chase there, as he'll get locked into the vet if I don't get down there by 6 p.m. So much love to you all, guys, and yeah, I look forward to communicating with you all via message and having fun with this raffle as well. Thanks everybody for your support, and see you Wednesday. Peace. Bye-bye.